Welcome back, Rebels, to Studio G. I'm Jose Ruiz.
And I'm Sydney Lum. Thank you for joining us.
Today we'll be covering international news, chat about local events, and have an in-studio guest to talk all about homecoming.
That's right. We have all that and more coming up.
Let's start with international news in Haiti.
A notorious gang with a history of major kidnappings abducted a group of 17 U.S. missionaries and their families as they left Haitian orphanage. Kidnappings have been on the rise in Haiti, with gangs demanding ransoms that in some cases exceed $1 million.
Haitian police said a gang called 400 Mawozo abducted a group of staff members that included some elderly people and at least 5 young children.
In India, at least 25 people have died in landslides and floods triggered by heavy rains.
The Army, Navy, and Air Force were assisting with flood relief and reuse operations. Thousands of people have been evacuated, and at least 100 relief camps have been set up.
Officials could not say how many people were missing. One woman from the town stated, quote, "The hill broke off near us. There has been a lot of damage and loss. The house has gone, children have gone," end quote. Now to news that is affecting the nation. Colin Powell, the first black U.S. Secretary of State, has died from complications of COVID-19 at 84 years old.
Powell's leadership helped shape American foreign policy, and House Speaker Nancy Pelosi called him a patriot who blazed the trail for generations to come.
Current and former Southwest airline workers gathered yesterday to protest recent COVID-19 vaccination mandates. They gathered to celebrate medical freedom at the airline's headquarters in Dallas. Southwest set its deadline in the first week of October under a federal vaccination mandate.
The group included over 100 people holding signs that said, "Terminate the mandate, freedom, not forced, and no jabs for jobs."
Longtime local traffic and news reporter Tom Hawley has died due to pancreatic cancer at 60 years old.
Hawley was widely known in Las Vegas as Chopper Tom because of his reports from the station's helicopter.
According to KSNV, Hawley was an avid hiker and a musician, and he will be missed throughout the valley. NASA embarked on a 12-year mission to study a group of asteroids on Saturday with the launch of Lucy, a robotic explorer that will explore deep space to find new clues about the creation of our solar system.
The spacecraft will spend 12 years hunting down 8 asteroids, embarking on an intricate path that uses Earth's gravity 3 times to slingshot itself around the Sun and through the 2 swarms of Trojans under Jupiter's gravitational influence. As it journeys from one side of Jupiter's orbital path to the other, Lucy will travel roughly 4 billion miles during its primary mission.
Something else that is out of this world is homecoming this week. This week is homecoming week, and yesterday was the window painting homecoming kickoff and the President's Barbecue. If you visit the PETA Plaza, you can see the homecoming team's painting masterpieces on the windows.
Tonight is the Rebel Variety Show from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. in the Student Union ballrooms. See the homecoming team's skit and support students showcasing their talents. Today is also They Can Afford Dry Food right until 4 p.m. Drop your cans or your non-perishable goods in the 3rd floor of the Student Union in the SIA office.
Tomorrow from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. in the PETA Plaza is the Homecoming Festival. There will be free carnival games and rides, free food, and the Scarlet and Gray golf cart competition parade at 7:30.
Later on in the show, we will have Madeline Smith, the homecoming director, to talk more about the behind the scenes of this week and what people can expect from the different events. Homecoming will be an event to meet new friends, eat free food, and listen to interesting music. Let's go to reporter Richard Pedzek, who is asking students what they are listening to.
Hey guys, we're going to be going to check out what people are listening to on UNLV campus. Let's go. Excuse me, what are you listening to right now?
Drugs by Rat Tat Tat.
All right, thank you so much. What are you listening to right now?
I am currently listening to Lord,
What song?
Stoned at the Nail Salon.
Okay, thank you so much. Excuse me. What are you listening to?
Nothing.
He's listening to nothing. What are you listening to right now?
Ariana Grande,
What song?
Seven Rings.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I have one quick question for you.
Sure.
What are you listening to right now?
I'm listening to a podcast.
What podcast is that?
It's The Basement Yard.
What is it about?
It's just Joe Santagato and his best friend Frank Alvarez, and they just chatted up.
Okay. Thank you so much.
What's this?
Excuse me, I have one question for you. What are you listening to right now?
I'm listening, I don't know. Runaway by E. Kelly.
Okay. Excuse me. I have one question for you.
Sure. Please give me a moment. Sorry.
Okay. What are you listening to right now?
Oh, I'm just talking to my friend though.
Okay, talking to your friend? All right, thank you. What are you listening to right now?
Music.
What type of music are you listening to?
It's called, it's a part of East Africa. It's called Eritrean music.
Do you know the artist that you're listening to?
Yeah.
What's the artist?
His name is Temesgan.
People were listening to some interesting things. Back to you at the desk.
With festivals coming back, one of our biggest ones here in Las Vegas, EDC, is celebrating 25 years this Friday, October 22nd through Sunday, October 24th. The Electric Daisy Carnival is a music festival surrounding electric dance music, but it offers more than just the music. It's an experience of a lifetime.
I had an amazing time. Everyone made me feel so welcome. I still am not a huge fan of crowds, but everything was super nice and everyone was extremely cool. The music was really awesome.
EDC isn't like other festivals. One thing that puts them apart is that they offer things such as Camp EDC.
I know it's going to be like really cool because I camped at another festival not too long ago and we just met people and hung out with them the entire time. Because camping is its own like community, you know what I mean? And there's a lot to do there and a lot of cool people.
A full 3 days of music and the atmosphere under the electric sky could sound like a lot, but for festival goers like Hunter and his girlfriend, it's one of the biggest things they look forward to.
That's her happy place and that's what makes it makes her whole year just doing 3-4 days at EDC. Raves, people actually go for the music, they go for the community, and people are very nice and supportive.
There are things to know and prepare for before entering the festival grounds.
A lot of different stages. There's pretty much going to be music there for everybody. I mean, maybe unless you're a country fan, but besides that, there's definitely music for everyone, and there's always something going on and something to do.
As busy as it sounds, it's all worth it to many people who go.
You meet a lot of really cool people, and some of my best friends that I have right now are from festivals and raves, and I never would have thought I would have made like lifelong friends there. So
EDC seems like something you can't miss out on if you love festivals and EDM.
You've been to EDC, right?
Yes, in 2019 actually. It is amazing, and I'm going this year too.
Okay, sounds good. When we come back, we will interview Madeline Smith to talk more about homecoming.
Unlike other health concerns, mental illness is not always easy to see.
Third line, please.
DEPRESSION.
Mental illness doesn't show up on a scale. Bipolar? Sorting out a mental health concern is not something to attempt on your own.
Anxiety. I thought so.
Like many health conditions, help for mental illness takes professional diagnosis and treatment. And the sooner you seek treatment, the better.
Look at that. 6,000 steps and PTSD.
If you or a loved one has a mental health concern, don't go it alone. Find out what to do. For 24-hour free and confidential information and treatment referral, call 1-800-662-HELP. Learn more at samhsa.gov/support.
Let's welcome Madeline Schmidt, Homecoming Director. Hi, Madeline. Thank you for being here with us.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me.
So can you explain the behind the scenes of preparing for homecoming?
Yeah, so I actually got this position as the homecoming director before summer started, summer 2020. Pretty much we've been preparing for it since July, so it's definitely quite a process. I have an amazing team, an amazing executive board that I work with, so they've been very supportive, but the planning has pretty much gone on for, I would say, at least like 4 to 5 months. So it's a lot to put in for sure.
That is a lot.
Yeah.
So what is homecoming for the people who don't know what it quite is like?
Yeah, so especially for all of like the freshmen that started this semester, a lot of them think that it is a dance. It is not a dance. We do not have like a formal dance at all. It is more of just a week-long celebration until the UNLV football game, which is this Thursday at 8 p.m. But it's mainly just a celebration of the university. It's a great time for all of these student organizations as well as staff to come together to celebrate UNLV and just being a rebel in general. But there are a ton of different events that is included, like the Registered Student Organization Competition, as well as Rebel Royalty, which is basically just homecoming court, and then Most Spirited Rebel, which is a awesome event that we put on as well.
Nice. Yeah. So can you go into some of like details of like some of these events that are coming up?
Oh my gosh, of course. So the first one I'll talk about, which is personally my favorite, is the Registered Student Organization Competition. Basically, we have up to 4 organizations that sign up to become a team, and they compete in a bunch of stuff that we put on throughout the week. So yesterday, I know you guys mentioned earlier that we had our window painting competition. So they mainly were the ones painting throughout the day. There's also a competition tonight, which is the Rebel Variety Show, where they get to put on their own skits and performances. And then we also have tomorrow, which they will be decorating their own golf carts to enter into the Scarlet and Gray Parade. And then we'll have judges judge those as well. And then on the last day, which is going to be Thursday, we're going to have the Olympics between the teams, and they're basically just going to play a bunch of like field day games, which is going to be super exciting. So yeah, that's one of like our biggest ones. And then we also have Rebel Royalty, which is more of a formal event, and that is where junior and seniors that go to UNLV are able to interview to become Rebel Royalty. So that just includes like campaigning and stuff like that. So that's a much more formal event. And then there's Most Spirited Rebel, which is definitely a more, I would say, kind of like goofy event for sure. It's definitely a lot more fun. They get to create these big spirit sticks, and they have to dress up for every single day of the homecoming competition that the registered student organizations are competing in, and it's just a ton of fun. So yeah.
Nice. So since you are the one planning it, are you able to participate in all these events? So
I could if I wanted to, but I really choose not to, because one of the organizations that I'm in is actually competing in the Registered Student Organization Competition. So I choose to stay out of it just to stay unbiased and give everyone like a fair chance to win. I also just have a ton of stuff to do behind the scenes, like just making sure that all of the points is updated, and just making sure that everything's going smoothly. So
nice. So what is the event that you're looking forward to the most?
Wow. I would say out of everything, it's definitely going to be the festival, which is going to be tomorrow from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. I definitely think it is a traditional favorite that everyone loves, and that's definitely the one that I'm looking forward to the most. It's just, there's going to be free food, free games to play, and then just the chance to meet alumni and other students, I think, is a really great opportunity for everyone. So. Yeah.
Nice. And where can students get more information about
homecoming? Yeah, of course. So you guys can follow us, which is just going to be our Instagram. It's at UNLV.homecoming. And then there's also the Rebel Events boards that we work with, which is just going to be at Reb UNLV. So that's where you can find more info.
All right, cool. Well, thank you for coming in and chatting with us.
Thank you for having me.
So we are going to be right back after this.
Anticipate potential delays for the morning commute. In other news, a recent government report on prescription drug pricing points to corporate
Freedom of the press is about your right to know.
Create offenses,
What are you talking about, man? Look at his stats.
Spark sheer athleticism.
It's about your right to be informed. Your right to access all types of information keeps us free as a nation.
No.
Today, there are real threats to press freedom
Reaching residential areas by...
and your right to know about the world around us.
Look.
Some threats are obvious, some are easy to miss, but they all put our way of life at risk. We must defend against all of these threats, no matter what kind of news is important to you.
Justified putting American troops in harm's way.
That's a great question.
We must protect our right to know before it's too late. Understand the threats. ProtectPressFreedom.org.
The 25th Renaissance Fair that took place happened this past weekend at Sunset Park. Richard Pidzik has more.
Over this past weekend, from Friday to Sunday, was the annual Age of Chivalry Renaissance Fair. Since 1994, this Renaissance Fair has found its place here in Vegas at Sunset Park. The attendance of the first ever Renaissance Fair here in Vegas was estimated to have about 33,000 people attending. With last year's festival being canceled due to COVID, there were some thoughts that this could contribute to a larger presence this year. This weekend, the estimate of attendees was upwards of 40,000 people that came across the country, many of which dressed up in medieval-themed costumes to participate in one of the world's largest Renaissance fairs. With how many people came and limited parking, this year the event supported shuttle buses at local high schools to bring people to the event. Reporting for Studio G, this is GN Richard Pedzik.
Over 33,000 attendees went to the Renaissance Festival this weekend, but if you missed out on it, no worries. I'm going to tell you about some upcoming events you and your whole family can enjoy. The museum is interactive. Have you ever been to the Museum of Monsters?
No, I haven't actually. Like, I've been planning to go, but it just hasn't come along.
Well, there's going to be a lot of photo op experiences filled with life-size creatures and monsters. Although the museum is meant for all ages, beware because the characters are very life-changing. Now let's go over to Jose for a spectacular weather forecast.
Hello, Rebels. So for today, we're going to be looking at 72 degrees as a high and 49 degrees for low. As you can see from throughout the week, we're going to be expecting some higher temperatures, but then we can expect for the weekend to actually be chilly. And if you're looking for some sweater weather, then that's coming along really quickly. Now back to Sydney at the desk.
Thank you, Jose, for that weather. So for sports, the Las Vegas Raiders won this past Sunday 34-24 against the Denver Broncos. This game was Rich Bisaccia's head coaching debut. The Raiders play next this Sunday against the Philadelphia Eagles at Allegiant Stadium at 1:05 p.m. The Los Angeles Dodgers go into Game 3 of the League Championship Series this afternoon at Dodger Stadium at 2:08 p.m. against the Atlanta Braves. The Dodgers are down 0-2 against after barely losing on Sunday with a final score of 4-5.
The Henderson Silver Knights won their home opener against the Colorado Eagles last Friday with a final score of 5-4. They played the Eagles one more time this past Sunday and won 6-3. Their next game is this Friday against the Abbotsford Canucks at Abbotsford Center at 7 p.m. UNLV women's volleyball had back-to-back away games in two different states this past week. They went against Utah State first last Thursday and lost 2-3. Next, they went head-to-head against Boise State last Saturday and lost 2-3. They play against Wyoming next year at the Cox Pavilion on Thursday at 5 p.m. Hopefully, they can get a W and start their winning streak back up.
Well, have you been to any UNLV sporting events yet?
No, I actually haven't. I've been planning to go, I just haven't had the time again with school and everything. But I did go to a Las Vegas Knights game once at Nashville, and it was really great. It was great.
Yeah, VGK all the way. Well, that's our show. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Sydney Lum.
And I'm Jose Ruiz. See you next time.